right here. Okay. So this is our network topology. Let me push the network topology also, and this is our terminal. So even in our network topology, if you see, we have something known as controller zone is this side. Then we have some branch locations, data center, again the branch location. There are two dual connectivity, one is MPLS, one is internet. But again, we will be bringing up this later on in our classes, and we will able to see that how we need to make it up. Okay. So if I show you the vManage, yes, anyone wanted to say something? No? Not this. I don't want to go to the API docs. We will be talking about these API docs later on into our classes. Okay, and I will be showing you how to run the APIs on your vManage to make some kind of changes through the REST API. But that is the later on stuff. Let us talk about vManage. See, this is your controller, and this controller, as I told you, is required for your management plane only. Okay, so you can see that lot of things we can see over here, that my vSmart is down. Why it is down, by the way? Let me go to the internet device, enable, give me a minute, huh? Shut, no shut. Sometime it happens with it. It's 0 by 0, yeah. Okay, maybe it will come up later soon, but meanwhile let us check about it. So this is your management connectivity thing, but not only the management. Later on we will be able to see that through this console you have something. If I will just expand it into the configuration, can you see these templates and policies? We will be gonna go and push some templates. What are those templates? How the device template and the feature template are different? What is the CLI template? We will be talking about these all stuff, but later on. Okay, and we just need to attach the device, and once you will attach the any of the device, maybe you can just go ahead and maybe attach all of these devices, and then just say attach, and maybe just click, and it will be gonna push the configuration. But I don't want to go in that. Leave. So this is your SD WAN controller named as vManage. Any doubt to anyone in this particular stuff? That this is your vManage, which provides you the management and which provides you the configuration of some kind of things known as templates and policies. No, we can see four VHs are there. It is showing us that okay, what are the host name, system IP. We will be talking about these terms because Viptela has some other terms, okay, and we need to talk about these terms later on. But there are a lot of terms which we will be gonna learn about into our these classes.
Yeah, a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, my doubt is which devices specifically support SD-WAN? I mean, SD-WAN is a logical concept, yeah? I mean, are these devices that support SD-WAN or routers or firewalls, or which devices are able to support? Since, as you mentioned before, these three controllers are logical. They are not physical devices, right?
Right,
So,
right. So as I talked with you, that these controllers are the logicals. You need to deploy it over the cloud or maybe on premises. If you are deploying it, you should have the proper hardware. Then we talked about VEdges, right? And into VEdges, I talked about that we can have, or maybe we can say the WAN edges. Okay, we can have the WAN edges in the form of VH and in the form of CH2, right? And there we were talking about that it can have different devices. It can have different devices, and those all device will be providing you the SD-WAN technology. Is it fine? Munir?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And then what you are talking about, those are different devices. Those have different routes. And when we will be coming to the route section, I will be explaining you what kind of routes we are having and how we need to, move those routes into our SD-WAN architecture. Okay. So we were talking about the SD-WAN component, and I gave you an overview about vManage, that how vManage is useful for us, and vManage is responsible for your management plane. Okay, perfect. If no doubt, let us proceed up with vSmart. Now, if we talk about vSmart, we already talked about that it is very, very important component, and it is acting as the brain of the control plane. Now, when I am saying vSmart, I also cleared one point very much, that in your vSmart, you should have the proper redundancy, because if there would be a fail happens in your vSmart, then it should not be bit like that, that you don't have the redundant, vSmart. It should have the proper redundancy with your vSmart. Then what it do, let us learn in a very high by overview. Let us say you have couple of the VH devices. Okay. And as we were talking earlier, it has some kind of LAN, it has some kind of LAN, it has some kind of LAN. Again, we don't talk about the transport. It can be MPLS, it can be iNet or whatever. Then somewhere here is our vSmart. Just we are talking about one because we need to talk about the working of the vSmart. Okay, so bit like that, and it should be having the connection with our second transport also. Now, how your network will flow? Your network in the like LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3. These all networks eventually will be going to the your vSmart, and in turn your vSmart will be sending it to the different other V edges. That is how your vSmart is acting as RR. Anyone aware about RR in the BGP term? Anyone? What is RR?
Root reflector.
Right. So what is the work of the root reflector?
So basically, it breaks up this IBGP full mesh and it maintains the relationship between these clients. Basically, it acts as a server, and you will have different clients which are connected, and it ensures that you have a loop-free topology.
That's true. So RR will send the routes from one your peer to the another peer, right?
Yes.
It's like same into your Viptela world. What they produce is vSmart, which will be working on a protocol. Later on, we will be talking about OMP in a very good detail. But they talked about a protocol named as OMP. Okay, overlay management protocol, bit like your BGP again. Okay, when you will be watching out it, but yes, they talked about the OMP protocol, and this OMP protocol will work in between your WAN edge devices, and between your vSmart. And if you have two vSmart, in between them also your OMP will work. Is it okay, guys? Are you getting the point? That your, maybe let me simplify the diagram. If you have two WAN edge devices, WAN edge 1, WAN H2, they will be able to send the routes to each other through your RR. And what is your RR in this scenario? This is your vSmart.
It is mirroring the routes.
Sorry.
It is mirroring the routes between the two sides.
Yes. So it is able to cascade the routes or the mirror the route between your two sides. Okay, your two sides will not talk together in the form of control plane, but in the data plane we will be talking about later on. Okay, so control plane will be always managed by your vSmart only. So vSmart will be having all of the information about the OMP peers. So if I will talk into our like particular lab, let me bring up my lab. So my lab, if you will see over here, into this lab we have only one vSmart. That is perfectly fine, it's not an issue. And these are the WAN edge devices. This is 230, this is 121, 122, the site is 120, router is 1, okay, router is 2, and this is 150 site, so we have the WAN edge 150. Now question for you is, how many OMP peers will be on my vSmart? So
Or
yes, it will be 4 because we have the connectivity with all of these 4 devices, right? So we don't care about like how many, transport we have. That is perfectly fine. Transport can be internet or MPLS, but we should be having 4 OMP peers when we will talking about our what to say, vSmart. So let me quickly log in over here and see the same thing. So it is admin, and if I will learn show OMP peers, are you able to see all of those 4 devices which we were checking out over there? Either it is 121, 122, 150, 230, all of them are showing as the OMP peer. Is it fine, guys? Getting this point? Now the question got changed. Question is, how many OMP peer for site 150?
One.
Who is there?
Pankaj here.
Okay.
So one.
Okay, let me change my question. What is the OMP peer for site 122?
Should be one only because it's going to talk to smarts.
That's true. That's true. So it does not depend like what is the connectivity between the V edges. It is the question of like how many vSmart I have and how many control plane I have. So control plane connections over there would be 1. So let us quickly go to one of the WAN edge and let us log in over there. Admin show control, or maybe I am showing you control connections, but I was supposed to show you something else. Wait for a while. Show OMP peers. So you can see these have only one OMP peer, and that is your vSmart. Is it fine? Again, if you check on any of the device, maybe if you are checking on 120, so here also, if you will see admin show OMP peer, it should be only 1 because into this topology you have only one vSmart. That's it. Any doubts so far? No? So vSmart is used for your, who is gonna answer? vSmart is used for
Act as a
control
control plane. Yeah.
right, and it will be sending the routes from one site to the another site over a OMP through the OMP protocol. Okay, later on we will be checking like how many OMP routes are there. Okay, there are different OMP routes, but we will be checking out later on. So if we just show MP routes, you would be able to see there are a couple of the routes which are coming over here. Okay, in the form of tab, we can see these are the routes which are coming. Couple of the routes are invalid also. Why these are invalids, we will be going to talk about those scenarios, but later on. Okay, what is the VPN we are talking about? What are the VPN are? Again, we will be talking about in some time. Okay, I can see one more person joined over here, Venkat. Hey Venkat, thanks for joining in. Just a quick introduction about yourself, buddy. Like you have experience in what technology, from which country you are, what about the SD-WAN? Hi. Okay, you are putting on. No, we cannot hear you. Maybe you are no, you are on mute. Let me ask to unmute yourself. If you can see to unmute yourself, you can speak then. Okay, maybe you can check. Meanwhile, let us proceed it up. So we were talking about. No, Venkat, we are not able to hear you. So we were talking about VRF. Okay, and when the edge devices will come into the picture, when edge devices come into the picture, we need to be very much aware about the VRF. Okay, why? We will be talking about in some time. But let me tell you one thing, how Viptela come up with this solution is, they said that, okay, if it is my WAN edge device, this WAN edge device can talk with my MPLS. This WAN edge device can talk up maybe some other media like internet or something else. Okay, these parts should be of VPN 0. Now earlier they come up from 0 to 512, where 0 is known as your transport and 512 was known as your management, and whatever in between is coming out, those were known as service VPN. But later on this value is now 65535, where VPN 0 again for your transport, 512 is again for your management, and all of the others except this is your service VPN. Now let us talk about these terms. What are these terms are? Maybe not this particular. Let me remove this whole stuff. So we were talking about that if you have the WAN edge device and you have two medias, either it is your MPLS or internet, whatever, this should be the form of like part of your VPN 0 only. Okay, then if you have some kind of management, out of band management or something like that, that port should be belongs to your 512 VPN ID. Rest all of the LAN, if you have different LAN 1 may be part of VPN 2, LAN 2 may be part of your VPN 10. It is bit like that. You need to be segregated with respect to your VPNs. Any doubt, guys? What are the VPNs? What is the significance of VPN? Are you getting this point? So there are predefined VPNs. By the way, can anybody let me know what are those? What are the name we talked about? VPN 0 stands for?
I think it's a management. It's VPN 0 is for transport VPN. Yep.
And this is your management.
Management VPN.
And these are whatever except these. These are your service VPNs. Okay. Again, a part of your segregation of your routes. Okay. That, let me tell you, by default, whatever VPN you are talking with, okay, like VPN 2 can talk with VPN 2 routes only, VPN 10 can talk with VPN 10 only, Later on, we will be checking about the leaking and all of that stuff through the policies. But by default, if we will talk about, only the individual VPNs can talk with each other. So it means, let me just create my diagram little bit bigger so that we all of you on the same page. So it means if we have the WAN as devices on the branch 1, on the branch 2, on the branch 3, on the branch 4, and these particular LAN, these LAN, if these are belonging to the VPN 20 and these are belonging to the VPN 10, then VPN 10 can talk with VPN 10 only. And who will send these routes? Anyone? vSmart. Okay. So these routes will be handed over to your vSmart. vSmart will hand over these router to the location which is required for different routing perspective, and your VPN 20 routes can communicate with VPN 20 routes only, and your VPN 10 routes can communicate with your VPN 10 routes only. So throughout your topology, your VPNs should be there on all of the devices. Is there any doubt in this particular concept? Munir, is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine for now.
Okay. So that is one thing. Okay. So ideally your all of the locations should be same VPNs as default. Intercommunication between these VPNs are not allowed by default. But later on, if you will be running some kind of policies and you want to tweak out these settings later on, yes, it will be gonna go and communicate with each other through the leaking and with the different terms. Okay. So once you need to create these kind of basic configuration on your WAN edge devices. Okay. So these configurations are a bit like you need to type out something name as some configuration like organization name you need to give out. Okay. So organization name is your case sensitive. You should be very much aware when you are writing down the organization name onto your devices. All of the devices throughout in your particular corporate, it should be same. Then organization name is the one thing. Then you need to create something known as system IP. System IP is nothing bit like your, maybe you can say, router ID. So it is non-routable stuff. Okay, but you need to create it on your devices when you need to make it up when very initially. But again, we will be checking it about these terms later on into maybe tomorrow's class. I'm just giving you an overview. Okay. Then every device should have the information about the vBond, that okay, what are the vBond stuff is, and optionally you can have the host name. Okay, whatever the host name you want to provide. Then we have different terms will be coming into the picture, like what are the color, what is the encapsulation, what are the other stuff. We will be talking about each and every term of these VipTailor devices later on, not now. Okay. So let me talk about the color in a very small high overview, so that you can able to understand that okay, what is the color is in the term of SD-WAN, and you would be able to diagnose that okay, how this topology works. So what I was saying to you is that if you have couple of the devices and these devices in turns are going to your connections, this connection can be your internet, this can be your MPLS. So let us say this is MPLS, let us say this is your internet. Okay. And again, you can have redundancy also a bit like that. That is not an issue. So in your setup, if such kind of things are going on, and again the routes will be gonna go eventually on vSmart. So vSmart will be receiving the routes from two sides. One is from the iNet over here and one is from the MPLS over here. To make this thing understandable that routes are coming from where, it has something known as next hop. Next hop attribute of your BGP over here in SD-WAN would be known as TLOC, transport locator, maybe you can say. And TLOC in turn have again the three stuff. Okay, understand it, very, very urgent thing, okay, important thing. So TLOC again has three stuff. One is, you can say, the color. Second thing is system IP. And what is your encapsulation? Now let us say this guy is sending the route 10.1.1.1 and it has the system IP of 1.1.1. This guy is maybe sending the route 172.1.1.1 and having the system IP of 2.2.2. If you talk about the color, color is nothing but it is bit like your tag, you can say. So if your MPLS is there, maybe your color can be MPLS. There are some predefined color. We will be talking about those colors later on. But let us say this is your MPLS. And for INET, maybe you can use Biz Internet, Gold, or maybe whatever name you want to give it. Let us say we are giving the name as Gold. So it can be your Gold. So when over vSmart, the 10.1.1.1 route will come. It will come from two parts. One is two side. One is from internet and second from INET. And this will be showing that it is received by 1.1.1.1, that is system IP of your WAN edge. Then color is gold. Then encapsulation is IPsec. Again, the encapsulation can be GRE and the IPsec. But yes, we are not gonna go for the GRE in any way because that is not a secured stuff. So over the vSmart, we will be having the root of 10.1.1.1, which will be representing a TLOC like 1.1.1 gold and IPsec. Whereas for the second scenario, the case would be again, it is coming from 1.1.1.1, but this time your color is changed to MPLS and again your encapsulation would be same, that is IPsec.
This color coding is same everywhere or it's different?
Sorry, can you repeat again? Can you repeat again your question?
I'm saying the color coding is same, or we can change it according to our requirements, or how
You can change it, okay, but ideally if you are using one color coding for internet, you should be taking that color coding only for the internet throughout.
So that color coding identifies whether the traffic is coming from MPLS or internet.
You can check that, right? We are giving this example with 10.1.1.1. It is your TLOC. TLOC means your next hop it is talking about. So into this, there is one thing is what color. So color is representing you, either it is coming through which media, either internet or either MPLS. You are right, Kaza.
Then what is the significance of IPsec over there? Why it is written as IPsec?
This is the part they introduced, okay, but later then it is, there is no such significant which is there, because encapsulation is in any case would be IPsec. You cannot go with the GRE because that is the plain text. I hope you are aware regarding the GRE and IPsec, right? You are the networking person, so by default it will be IPsec only. But they introduce, when they build up this particular protocol, they introduce in such a way. Let me show you this, if I can quickly show you. Show OMP route. Are you able to see this TLOC value? Are you able to see that it is saying that the route is 172.120.10.0, which is coming from our 120 location. Site ID is 120 because I am using bit like the second octet with your site ID, so I can understand. If I will go to my 120 site, where is that? 120 which 1.2, so maybe it should be bit like this. It is talking about its own, okay, maybe it's talking about its own thing, but let me just go for another route. Show OMP route in the form of tab. So is it coming up with 150? Let us take an example of this route. Show OMP route 172.150.10.0/24. See what it is saying. The system IP is 1.150.1.1. Let us see on the 150 and see what is the system IP. Show run system. Okay, so it will be just giving me the system. So configuration, how the, let me, because I run this command, let me talk about this as well. So when we are gonna configure our Viptela devices, it can be more, okay, later on we will be talking about, but mainly it is divided into your system configuration, which has your system related configuration, and secondly it will be having the VPN related configuration. Either it can be VPN 0, either it can be VPN 512, either it can be other VPNs. Those are known as service VPN. So when I am running show running configuration, I am just saying that with respect to the system, because I know system IP will be the part of this particular system configuration. Okay, although I can run out system IP also later on, but it's all right. If I run out show running configuration system, it is showing me that this is my
So
system.
this site ID is something you assigned manually or how it is?
Everything we are assigning it over here, these three. Okay, and then these things also. We will be talking about this when we will be come to the lab part, but because it is our very first class, so we are building up with the foundation how we need to go. Okay, so you can see it is showing us that what is the system IP, what is the color. So color here is mentioned as MPLS, and whatever the tunnel is. So tunnel is by default IPsec. Okay, any doubt to anyone in this part?
So if we are learning any number of routes from any location, you will have this TLOG information as common, correct?
It would be, because you should be aware about that, okay, from where it is coming. And by default, this information is going to your vSmart. Okay, here is your vSmart. Here you go. So first it will be going to the vSmart, and then your vSmart show MP routes. So you can see, then your vSmart will advertise it. Can you see advertise to which peers? So it is advertising to the different peer. Can you see this color? This is biz internet. So this is coloring code which I am writing down over there. But yes, you can use any color. Okay, either gold. Maybe we will be coming to that part later on.
So all the encapsulation, whether it is MPLS or internet, it will be IPsec.
It would be IPsec. You can see. Yes. Either it is internet or whatever, because see, you have two encapsulations available. One is GRE, one is IPsec. GRE is not secure and nobody will be gonna use that, and that is the reason you can say it is only IPsec.
But why they preferred IPsec?
Security. It will be a secure tunnel. The crypto tunneling, the keying, and all of the stuff will be gonna
Your
happen.
voice is low. I can't hear you. Is it with everybody or only for me? I'm not sure. Your voice is sometimes going low, very low.
Okay, what about others? Anyone?
It's okay for me. I can hear
Yeah.
clear and loud.
Okay. So Kaza, what I was saying is, because it would be using your keys, the crypto keys and all of the stuff. So the encryption would be there in background, and that is the reason why we are using IPsec. We are not preferring GRE ever. Okay.
But if you compare with IPsec with GRE, you have more leverage and advantages of GRE itself, right? When compared to IPsec.
Like what?
Like you can have a dynamic routing protocols working on GRE, right?
You you can run on IPsec also. That is the beauty over here. Okay, you would be running the dynamic routing protocol over here as well. So let me make the diagram. Okay, so if you talk about your SD-WAN, let us say there are two WAN edge devices, and this is your vSmart. And if you talk about that, these edge devices are creating IPsec tunnel in between the two WAN edge devices, maybe VH1, VH2. Okay, of course, this is your DTLS tunnel, this is your TTLS tunnel, and all of the routes, the control plane information will be gonna go over there. If you are running some kind of VPN over here, okay, maybe let us say VPN 10, VPN 20. If you're running OSPF over there, or maybe OSPF over here, now, even though you are running OSPF, okay, your routes will be redistributed to the OMP, and in turns OMP will redistribute it to the OSPF domain again. So if these VPNs are same, VPN 10 and VPN 10 by default, your routes will be segregated between each other. You need not to bother about anything. Is it fine, Kaza?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be talking about these scenarios maybe later on. So what we were discussing about the TLOC, and TLOC is acting as what? Anyone? What is TLOC in
It's a
SD-WAN?
kind of router ID.
No. It is bit like your next hop information, or maybe you can say next hop IP kind of stuff. Okay. Within TLOC, there are three things. And those three things are
This
color,
system IP, color,
system IP, and encapsulation. Right. And when we were saying about the color maybe you can treat as bit like your tag. Okay. It is like MPLS, or maybe your gold, or maybe your internet, or whatever. System IP is bit like your router ID. Okay, and it is local to the device, non-routable, but yes, when you will be watching out show MP peer, it will be giving you the system IP information only. Encapsulation, then again by default you can say it is IPsec. Okay, so that is your TLOC stuff. Now I also talked about that if you have a WAN edge device who has two connections, maybe with MPLS and maybe with INET, how your like vSmart will come to know, that it is coming from MPLS or from the internet using color, right? Using color, because when it is coming through the MPLS, the color would be MPLS. When it is coming to the INET, maybe you are using it as gold, or maybe public internet, or maybe bit like that, you are using some name. In this scenario, since the traffic which is coming for this VPN, like let us say for VPN 10, is coming for the same system IP, so system IP would be same 1.1.1, but color is the thing which is making the difference over here. Rest of those two things would be same. Like it is coming from 1.1.1, that is the originator, but color is MPLS and gold. Rest things are same. Any doubt to anyone in this particular stuff? No? Okay, if there are no questions, let me ask questions then, what we understand so far. So questions for you guys. What are the two type of tunnels which we will be getting created? Or maybe let me repeat the question in some another form. give me the tunnel names because we have already talked about the tunnels. Okay, so let us say this is your vSmart, this is your vBond, this is your vManage, and this is your edge device, maybe vEdge, whatever the in between media, we are not talking about that. What is the tunnel which will be getting created between vEdge and vBond?
TLS.
It is
TLS.
it is only DTLS. Okay, it will never be TLS because your vBond, again very important question guys, because your vBond don't support the TCP, it only work on UDP. Okay, but if you talk about the tunnel between the vEdge and vSmart, what it should be? Anyone?
I think both TLS and DTLS.
This can be DTLS and TLS, right? And again, if you talk about the vManage, it can be again your DTLS and TLS both. Is it okay? Now, question is, if we have two vEdge, vEdge2, vEdge1, what is the tunnel in between them?
IPsec.
IPsec.
Right. That is true. So that is your tunneling, how it will be get created. Now you have one more maybe smart. What is the tunnel between these two?
DTLS or TLS.
It can be again DTLS or TLS. That is perfectly fine. So that is how your tunneling will be get configured in your SD-WAN topology. Now, inside your DTLS and TLS tunnel, there can be OMP which is running in. Okay, so that we will be checking on later on, maybe tomorrow. Okay, for today it is our first class, we need to wrap up. Okay, after covering out this slide, and then tomorrow we will be coming up with lab starting up. Okay, and then I will be like covering the lab and covering the theory, both of them all together. Okay, so we talked about OMP. OMP is what? OMP is your overlay management protocol, okay, which your Cisco SD-WAN use for your overlay network. And when we talked about that, it is running in between your vSmart and your WAN edge devices, you can say, to exchange the information of your routes, your next hop, your crypto keys, your policies information over a secure connection. And that tunnel is what? That is again your DTLS or TLS tunnel, right? Now, if you talk about, even OMP has three kind of routes. Okay, maybe that would be gonna go more. So we will be talking about OMP routes in very quick way. So OMP can have three routes. The first route can be named as OMP routes, or it can be named as Viptela routes also. So these are the prefixes which are provided by your WAN edge devices. Like I was saying, it can be your VPN 10, VPN 20, VPN 30, bit like that. So those routes information, which are the prefix that are learned from your local site, these prefixes are redistributed into your OMP so that they can carried away over your overlay, and your OMP route advertise through your TLOC, right? The second is TLOC. And we talked about TLOC also, that TLOC is talking about which is the active route, and these are logical termination points between your edge router, WAN edge routers, okay, and is uniquely identified by three stuff, or maybe you can say tuples. And what are those tuples? System IP, color, and encapsulation. And the third routes which OMP content is known as service route. Service route means, as you were asking Munir, that if we have IPS, if we have firewall, if we have load balancer or something like that, then those routes will be advertised into OMP with the form of something known as service routes. And these will be labeled as that some different routes, okay, into your topology. And these are also again the form of your OMP. But let me bring up the diagram again. Okay, but these routes are having a special recognition, and these are named as service routes. So VPN labels are sent in their update to tell the vSmart controller that which kind of VPN are service at remote site. Okay, and you can have all of these kind of routes available into your topology when we are talking about overlay management protocol. Any doubt? And again, these kind of stuff will be gonna working under your DTLS and TLS connections only.